Okay, good morning to all. We are Be'ezrat Hashem studying today Deot, 4th chapter, Perek Dalet. This chapter happens to have in it Harambam's view on medicine, on how somebody should keep his body healthy based on the medicinal and medical knowledge of Harambam's time. So we'll be starting Halacha Aleph. Now, not all of what Harambam says here is Halacha Moshe Mishinai. Not all of this is surely right. A lot of what he brings is true till today, but a lot of what he brings may not be medically valid today. And don't take, if you see something that he says and your doctor tells you otherwise, be sure to listen to your doctor. And Harambam himself, in the Moreh Nebuchim, Helek Gimel, says that, obviously, talking about all within the realm of halacha, all within the correct boundaries of halacha. Okay, so we'll be starting halacha aleph. Ho'il v'havayat haguf bari v'shalem b'derchei Hashem hu, שהרי אי אפשר שיבינו ידע והוא חולה. Seeing that maintaining the body in a healthy and sound state is derech Hashem, is the way of Hashem. Yes, for it is impossible that one might understand / know if he's sick. And by understand or know, he's talking about Torah and understanding related to the wisdom of the Torah. So because being sick impairs one's knowledge of the Torah, one must make himself far from these things, from things that destroy the human body, the physical body, and put himself in a way and train himself to go and to do things which make him healthier and cure his body and do not do bad things to his body. Halacha bet. לעולם לא יאכל אדם אלא כשהוא רעב, ולא ישתה אלא כשהוא צמא. Always somebody, and these are rules that based on Harambam's medical knowledge in Harambam's time. Not all of it has to be right according to our times, as these are things which evolve, based on science and new developments. Okay. A person must never eat unless he's hungry. And he shall not drink unless he's thirsty. Right? So don't just eat if you feel like eating because you're in the mood for something tasty. And he shall not leave his excrements in his body when he feels that he needs to clean it, that he needs to relieve himself, even a single moment. More, a person, rather, whenever he needs to relieve himself, he should go and relieve himself immediately. Halacha Gima. לא יאכל אדם עד שתתמלא כרסו. A person should not eat until he fills his stomach, but rather he should reduce the amount of food he eats to about, kemo means about, a fourth of his hunger, a fourth of the quantity that would make him full. So if X makes me full, if X food makes me full, okay, then I would eat X divided by 4. And a person shouldn't drink water while he's eating, but rather should have a little bit of water, and with that water he should mix some wine. And Harambam, I believe, says in another place that the red wine is the better wine. If I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken. And just one thing about drinking during the Saudah, today, it seems that according to modern science and medicine, drinking during the Sa'udah is not something which should be abstained from. And here we see an example of something that isn't 100% in Harambam, isn't 100% according to today's health, knowledge, and science. And that's okay, because he was writing this to people in his time and in old times, but he gave the medicinal knowledge that he had in order so that people could, so to speak, follow the best that he could give. And when the food starts digesting in his body, in his digestive tract, he drinks what he needs to drink. But he should never drink too much, even when the food has already properly digested. In other words, he shouldn't overfill himself, and we know this could cause problems with the bladder. And also, a person shouldn't eat unless he checks himself well for bodily excrements and makes sure that he does not need to relieve himself during the meal. And then if he needs to relieve himself during the meal, it's, so to speak, problematic. I'll give a reason. In the days of Harambam, for somebody to relieve himself meant having to go to walk to the nearest bathroom, the nearest public communal bathroom, and relieving yourself. And not all cities, not all places had a communal bathroom, had bathrooms. Not everybody had a bathroom. It's said in the Gemara in Babel, some cities did not have bathrooms, and the Hachamim used to it was a very difficult thing for them to find a place in which they could go. And if you're in the middle of eating and you do, and you have to now go and so on and so forth, it'll disrupt your eating and is not good. Halacha dalet. Lo yochal adam ad sheyehalech kodem achila ad sheyatchil gufo lachom. A person shouldn't eat until he walks a bit before he eats. He should walk a small amount of time before eating until his body gets warmed up. Or instead of walking in order to warm himself up, he should do anything. He should do anything that causes his body to get warmed up. Or he should do some sort of work, some sort of manual labor, or anything else that causes his body to be a little bit warmed up. Now, I'm not going to get through the whole chapter if I was to stop for every little thing into the how it compares to today. We would not be able to finish. It would take us a very long time. But I will just say that also here, this is not necessarily how modern medicine sees things, how modern health science sees things. The rule is, the general rule is, a person should exercise his body and tire it every day during the morning so that it'll perspire. So lahom is also, it's connected to sweating. In other words, it's not only a warm up, if you feel legit, so he sweats a little. And then he should rest a little until his nefesh, until his physical being, his physical body feels a little bit easier, right? He just walked, he just did some sort of manual labor. He should rest a bit so his pulse, his heartbeat goes down, and then he eats. And if he took a warm shower or bath, cleaned himself with warm water after this, it's a good thing. And then after he does this, he shall eat. He should wait a little, rest a little, and eat. Halacha Gimel. לעולם. כשיאכל אדם, ישב במקומו או יטה על שמאל, ולא יהלך, ולא ירכב, ולא ייגע, ולא יזעזע גופו. So always, when a man sits to eat, okay, he should sit in his place, bimate al semol, and he should lean to the left. And why does he need to lean to the left? For the very simple reason that also today in modern medicine, it is said that it is good to lean to the left a little. How come? Because our body, we have two, so to speak, pipes in our neck. One of the pipes is the one in which we breathe air from. And one of the pipes is the one in which food comes into. It's called the esophagus. Now the esophagus is on our right side. So if we lean on the left, we're giving our esophagus space for the food to enter it. Velo yihalech velo yirkab, and a person shouldn't be walking or riding an animal. Velo yiga'a velo yazazeh, and he shouldn't commence in manual labor or do anything, or yazazeh gufo, and do something which will ramble his body. Velo yetayel ad sheitakel hamazon b'me'av, and also he shouldn't do any, go for any tiyulim, for any walks, any longer walks, until the food properly digests in his body, in his stomach. And obviously this is something you feel. It's a felt thing. Everybody has his individual time for digestion. And anybody that goes on a walk, or on a longer walk after he ate, or he commences in some sort of manual labor after he eats, we're talking about directly after one eats, he will bring upon himself bad and serious ailments. Halakha dalet. Hayom vehalayla. Arba'a ve'esrim sha'ot. The day with the night together is 24 hours. It's a 24-hour cycle. Dailu la'adam lishon shelishan shehu shemone sha'ot v'hiyu besof halayla. It's enough for a person, and we're talking about the maximum amount of time, to sleep 8 hours, to sleep a third of 24 hours, which is 8 hours. V'hiyu besof halayla. And it should be at the end of the night. What do we mean by the end of the night? And it should be that from the beginning of the person's sleep till the sunrise, it is 8 hours. However, of course, in order to pray shaharit, you need to wake up before sunrise. So obviously, a person needs to wake up a little beforehand. He has to calculate his time, again, according to the ideal situation, so that he sleeps 8 hours before the time he needs to wake up in order to make it to tefillah in the correct time, which is zirihat hama. It's or maybe what Rambam says here, ta'aleh hashemesh, is referring to alot hashahar, a time which is before the ziriha. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not gonna make any clear-cut decisions on this. Now we see here 8 hours, definitely agreeable with today's science. And it ends up here. He says it here. And it ends up that he would arise from his bed before sunrise. So exactly what I said previously. The person doesn't wake up exactly in sunrise. He has to wake up pre-sunrise. Obviously, in the ideal situation, the ideal is to pray in Hinesa Hama with sunrise. That's for another section in the halachot. Halakha he. Lo yishan adam, lo al panav, velo al orpo, ela al sido. A person should not sleep, not on his face down, not with his face downward, not with his face upward, right? Not on his back and not on his stomach, but rather on his side. And Hachamim explain this. I'm almost 100% sure that Harabam explains this halakha later on in Ilchot Deot, but the explanation is that it brings a person to an erection, which is not wanted according to the halakha. A person isn't allowed to bring himself to this state. Now, he brings a differentiation. At the beginning of the night, when one is sleeping on his side, it's better for him to sleep on his left side. Why? Because his digestive system is on his right side. The digestive tract is in the middle of the body, but it leans more towards the right side. And towards the end of the night, the person can switch to the other side, so to speak, to keep the blood circulation in his body balanced. And a person shouldn't eat sleep right after eating. כמו 3 שעות או 4 שעות, ולא יישן ביום. Rather, a person should wait after he eats his last meal of the day, 3 or 4 hours, and then go to sleep. And then now Harambam finishes, velo yishan bayom. And one must not sleep during the day, must not take a nap. This is a halachic, this is bordering on halachic, okay? Not necessarily a medicinal thing. It says in Masechet Berachot, you're not supposed to sleep kimlo kishinat hasus during the day. Halacha lema'aseh, it seems that, and I'm not making a clear-cut decision, but halacha lema'aseh, it seems that if somebody who would benefit health-wise from sleeping during the day, based on the health science of his time, okay, obviously, considering that it does not impair his Torah studies, his work, his and so on and so forth, and it's all within the realm of the halacha, it seems that it would be okay, and it seems like what Harambam is giving us here is what is correct according to his day. Halacha hayt. דברים המשלשלים את בני המעיים. Laxatives, yes, laxatives, things that cause the digestive system, the bowels, to be softer. כגון ענבים ותאנים ותותים ואגסים ואבטיחים, such as grapes, figs, strawberries, agasim. Agasim are not, according to some perushim, agasim in modern Hebrew mean pears, but it seems that what he says here, agasim, is referring to plums, va'avatihim, and watermelons, and not only watermelons, the regular watermelons, also regular melons. It seems that the word watermelon, khiyar in Arabic as well, encompasses in it regular melons and watermelons, u'me'ai hakishuim, u'me'ai hamillafefonot, and what is called cucumis sativus, okay, or cucumbers. I'm pretty sure kishuim are, well, you could just Google it. I said the name. All these things are laxatives. If a person eats one of these things, he should eat them in his meal before he starts his meal. In other words, before the main food. He should not mix them with his meal. Rather, he should wait a little until they leave the top digestive tract, and then he should eat his food. Things that are stressful on the digestive system, like pomegranates, ufarishin. I'll give you guys the Latin name. It's called Cydonia. In modern Hebrew, again, Cydonia. If anybody wants to Google it later on, I will share a list to anybody that wants to do research on these names. Bitapuhin and apples. Ukrustemalin. Kirustemalin are today's pears. Ochel otan techef limzonot. These things, which are stressful on the digestive system, a person should eat them right before his food. He should not eat a lot of them because they're stressful on the digestive system. Also today it's agreeable that these things may be stressful on the digestive system. I'm not saying whether or not they're healthy or whether or not a person should eat them or not. Halacha zayin. We're going to go a little bit faster now. I'm going to higher the pace because really this is, again, all a little bit less relevant than some of the other halachot, for the reasons it's stated before. If a person wants to eat meat, in other words, cow meat, yes, if a person wants to eat cow meat, somebody seems to be not muted. If you could please, Ramin, R-A-M-I-N, if you could please mute yourself, it would be much helpful, very helpful. Thank you very much. When a person wants to eat meat and chicken together, first eat the chicken and then eat the cow meat. And so also eggs and chicken. We see we have the less and the more. Eggs are, so to speak, less difficult on the digestive system, and meat is supposed to be a little more difficult on the digestive system. You first eat the one that is apparent, that is less stressful. Okay. Besar behema daka of besar behema gasa. Also, besar behema daka, meat of a of behema daka, a less large cattle like sheep and goats and so on. Besar behema gasa, and meat of larger cattle such as cows. Ochel batahila besar daka. First eat the less, the besar behema daka, the one of the smaller cattle. Le'olam yakdim adam dabar kal u'me'achar kaved. And the rule is always eat what is easier on this digestive system, and then continue with what is a little bit harder. And this does also work with today's medicine and health. Halacha het. Bimot hama. In the days of the summer, the hot days, obviously different in every place. Ochel ma'achalim akarim. Eat the cold foods. Yes? Velo yarbeh b'tevalin. And don't eat spicy foods. Ve'ochel et hummus. And eat, moreover, drink the hummus. Hummus is literally translated vinegar. But anything that has some sort of that is sourness could fall under this. And in the winter days, the days of the rain, a person should eat ochalin hamin, hotter foods, and should also may add some spices, not too much, all in moderation, of course. And should have some mustard and some hiltit. Hiltit is what we call ferula. I will send a list again with all these names. And on this rule, a person should adhere to this rule based on the place in which he is in and the time in which he is in. And of course, somebody lives in North Siberia, where it's winter all the time, then take winter, and so on and so forth. Somebody lives in the Sahara Desert. Yesh, or in Israel, where it's hot most of the time. Halachatet. There are foods which are bad, which are terrible, which are very bad. And it is correct for a person to not eat them at any time. Kiron, for instance, the large, salted, old fish, in other words, cured fish that are old, okay, very, very unhealthy. And old cheese, so old salted cheese, or cumin and mushroom. Yes, that's one perush. Another perush says that kemehin are also a type of mushroom. And old salted meat. They used to eat these things on a regular basis in certain places, especially in Harambam's time. The yain megito, and wine that just came out of the that just came out of being pressed. Yes, just came out of being out of being pressed. And why? Because what happens was they used to step on the wine in something called a gat. They used to really step on it with their feet in order to speed up the fermentation process. And what would happen is there would be some sort of bacteria in this wine until it fermented and had alcohol in it, and then it would be undrinkable. It would be not healthy for human consumption until the alcohol kicks in a few weeks into the fermentation process, and then the wine would be drinkable. And any food that was out until it had a noticeable smell, and any food that has a bad taste or a bitter taste, these things for the body are like a drug of death, are killers. I'll just put it in that way. They're mamash poison. Halacha yodbet. And there are foods that are bad, but are not as bad as the previously stated ones. And therefore, it is good for a person to abstain from these, yes, and not eat them too much, but rather a little, and after many days. And he should not regulate himself to eat from these on a regular basis, or eat them with his regular meals, always like large fish, ugvina, and cheese, anything, cheese. Harabam is just saying cheese. And also the reason is really because the cheese in Harambam's days was there was no refrigerators, of course. So all these things would rot quickly and would have much more bacteria, no regulations like today. And milk that was out for 24 hours after it was milked. And meat of large bulls and large sheep. Yes? Or rams. I think is a sheep or a ram. Ram is the male sheep. And the fol, which is beans and lentils, and sapir. Sapir is bread made of barley. Unleavened bread. Masot, and bread that was made out of barley. Masot, and bread that did not rise. Keruv, and cabbage. Hasir, leek. We call till today we eat this. It's called we call it karat. We have this on Rosh Hashanah every year. The Sephardim, even some of the Ashkenazim. Besalim, and onions. Shumim, garlic. Hardal, and mustard. Senon, which is radish. All these, kol elu ma'achalim ra'im. All these are bad foods, but not as bad as the previously mentioned. Continuation, halachayot gimel. The person should not eat from these, and he should eat from these only very little. And only in the rainy days and the cold days. But on the days that are not winter, he should not eat from these at all. And the beans and lentils alone. A person should not eat from them, never, not in the days of winter, not in the days of summer. It's bad it's good to abstain from them completely. And dalaat, which is, one moment, mehila. One second. And pumpkins, here it's Halloween, I should know that. And pumpkins also should be left only for the summer season. Halacha yodalet. And there are foods which are bad, but are not as bad as these previously mentioned ones. A chicken of the water, more known as a duck. And small pigeons. And dates, and bread that is roasted in oil, or bread that was kneaded in oil, and the fine flour that was sifted all the way, sifted very much, until it did not have the smell of mursan. And mursan is the part of the wheat. There's two parts to the wheat. There's the part of, and whole wheat bread has this brown part in it, which is called mursan, which is supposedly healthy. So he's saying overly fine flour that does not have any of this left in it, he should not eat from it. V'hasir, fish oil, it's a type of fish oil. V'hamurias, another type of fish oil, which they used to use till very recent times to eat the bread with. The person shouldn't eat from these at all. It's not good. He should try to abstain from them. And a person who is wisdomful and smart and is choveshet yisro and knows how to not be carried away by his desires. He should not be a person who can control himself should not be carried away by his desires and wants. Should not eat from all the aforementioned anything. Rather, only unless he needed them for health reasons, for medicinal reasons, then of course we would let him eat from this. Again, according to Harambam's times, all these things. Halacha tetvav. Le'olam. Always. Always people should abstain from fruits from trees. And he should not have a lot of them, even if they are dry. And of course, it doesn't need to be said that wet fruits from trees should not be eaten. But before they are properly ripened, they are like knives to the human body. And so also the carobs, ra'im le'olam, are always bad for the person's body. And all the sour fruits are bad. Sour means like citrus fruits are bad. And you should not eat from them. People should abstain from them only eat them in the summer and on the hot days. It's interesting that in Eretz Yisrael, I'm going to mention this very interesting fact. In Eretz Yisrael, all the citrus fruits come out. Their main season is in the winter. Is in fact in the winter, and apparently, according to modern science, the best time to have these citrus fruits, which are packed full of vitamin C and other very important vitamins, is actually, in fact, in the winter. And figs and grapes and almonds are good always. Ben retubin, ben yebishim, wet, dry. And a person should eat from them as much as he wants. But still shouldn't eat from them too much. Right? Everything is good in moderation. Even though they're better than all of the fruits, the trees, the fruits from trees. If anybody wants, there's a place in Yerushalayim called a stand called this guy called Isha Trogin. He loves selling this drink and he calls it Mashkeh Rambam. If any of you Be'ezrat Hashem come to Israel, you will see what I'm talking about. Halacha Tetzayin. Hadevash v'hayayin. Wine. Sorry, switch the order. Honey and wine, ra la ketanim, ve'afil hazakenim, is bad for small people, for little people, for kids, and is good for elderly people. V'chol sheken bimot hageshamim, and particularly in the rainy seasons. V'sarich adam le'echol bimot hachama sheneh shel ishem asher ochel bimot hageshamim, and a person's food consumption should be in the winter, in the summer, 2/3 of what he eats in the winter. Halacha Yod Zayin. לעולם ישתדל אדם שיהיו מעב רפין כל ימיו, ויהיה קרוב לשלשול מעט. A person should always endeavor to have his bowels soft, right? Near and close to looseness. Okay? וזה כלל גדול ברפואה. And this is a very big, important rule in health science. שכל זמן שהרעי נמנע או יעשה בקושי, חולאים רעים באים. As long as there is complete constipation or very high difficulty in relieving oneself, bad sicknesses come on the person's body. Definitely very, very relevant to today. Halacha Yod Het. This is a longer chapter. This is a pretty long chapter, and so is the next. Beli neder, I will try to get it done in a in a kind of not too fast, not too slow, but it obviously, as you guys could see, is taking longer than most every day's classes. Halacha Yod Het. And how should one soften his bowels? If he became constipated. If he was a young person, he should eat every morning salted things, okay? Salted things that are pickled, okay? Spiced with oil and muryas, which we said is a certain fish oil, of melach belopat, and should have salt, and with more salt, without bread. Usually this thing is dipped in bread. Or or should have the pickled juice of spinach, or cabbage in oil and salt and muryas, which we said is the fish oil. But rather, if he was an old person, he should have honey in hot water in the morning. He should wait 4 hours, about 4 hours, and then proceed to eating his meal. يعسى كن يوم أحر يوم שלושה أو 4 يמים. You should do this day after day, 3 or 4 days. All according to his personal need, until he is cured. The thing with the honey really is a very helpful thing in today's science. ועוד כלל, הלכה ט"ו, ועוד כלל אחר אמרו בבריאות הגוף. And another important rule they said, and by they Harambam is talking about, again, the experts in health of his days. כל זמן שאדם מתעמל ויגע הרבה. I love this one. This is one of my favorite halachot in הלכות דעות. כל אדם שמתעמל, כל זמן שאדם מתעמל ויגע הרבה, ואינו שבע ומעברפין. As long as somebody exercises, okay, and challenges his body a lot, in other words, all within the normal realm, ואינו שבע is not full, in other words, full from food, ומעברפין, and his bowels are not tight, אין חולי בעליו, וכוחו מתחזק ואפילו אכל מאכלות הרעים. No sickness will come on him, and he will stay strong, and he will become stronger and stronger. And even if he ate some of the less good foods, his body will be able to cope with those things.
Joey, I think we lost you for a few seconds. If you could repeat this, please.
Which halacha?
This Yotet, yes.
Yotet, okay.
Yodalet, whatever.
Mehila. Yes, I will repeat. And another very important rule that was said by the modern, health science in Harambam's days. As long as somebody exercises and keeps his body always in a non-static state, and does not overeat, and makes sure his bowels are soft, no sickness will come upon him, and he will only get stronger. And even if he ate some of those less recommended foods, he will still be healthy. Just by the way, if the connection goes down, thank you, Yaakov, for telling me. If the connection goes down or something, please be sure to let me know, so that I don't just speak to myself, and that you guys have Bitul Torah. It's important. That's a very important thing to keep in mind. Continuation. And anybody who sits static and does not exercise, or somebody who does not relieve himself when he needs to, or somebody who his bowels are restricted, even if he ate the healthy foods, and even if he kept himself according to the proper health recommendations, all his days, notwithstanding that he does the health, that he acts according to the proper health that he is instructed, he will be mach'ovim, he'll be in different pains, and he'll be weak, and he'll be weak, this person. In overeating, eating quickly and fast and a lot, that is by definition achila gasa, to the person's body is literally like death poison. And if somebody wants to be sick, he should do that, and he will surely be sick, according to Harambam. Halacha kaf. Most of the sicknesses that come upon people are because of eating improper foods, or because he overeats, he fills his stomach and overeats. Even from those healthy foods, and this is what King Solomon said in his wisdom. He who guards his mouth and his tongue, he guards his soul against distresses. In other words, that he who guards his mouth against eating bad foods and overeating, and guards his tongue, and guards his tongue from over-speaking. As we mentioned in the previous chapters, a person should only speak what he needs to speak for what he needs. Halacha Kaf Aleph. Wow, very long chapter. הלכה כ"א, דרך הרחיסה שייכנס אדם למרחס משבעה ימים לשבעה ימים. In Harambam's days, they used to have these bathhouses and they would enter them, and he's saying that the right way to do is go in every 7 days, ולא ייכנס סמוך לאכילה, and a person should not get in right before eating, ולא כשהוא רעב, and not if he's hungry, אלא כשיתחיל המזון להתעכל במעיו, but rather when the food starts digesting properly in his stomach, ורוחס כל גופו בחמין שאין הגוף נכווה בהם, and when a person is in the bathhouse, he should rinse his body only in that water which will not scar him, וראשו בלבד בחמין שהגוף נכווה בהם, but rather than his hair, his head, that he should rinse with water which is a little hotter than he would wash the rest of his body in, ואחר כך ידחס גופו בפושרין, and then he should continue with warmer water the rest of his body, ואחר כך בפושרין מן הפושרין, and then continue with even warmer water, bordering on cool, עד שידחס בסונן, until really he washes himself with cool water, ולא יעביר על ראשו כלל לא פושרין ולא סונן, and he should not put on his head not overly cool and not warm, rather hot, like he said before, ולא ידחס בסונן בימות הגשמים, and a person should not rinse himself with cold water in the winter days. Obviously this could turn somebody to be sick. ולא ידחס עד שיזיע ויפרך כל גופו, and somebody should not rinse himself until, and this is according to the, but still relevant till today at a certain level, it's best for a person to rinse himself after he perspires a little. ולא יאריך במרחס אלא כשיזיע ויפרך גופו וישתטף ויעשה, and a person shouldn't be too long in the bathhouse. He should only be until, and I will explain, he perspires, tires his body, cleans himself and gets out. The bathhouses they had in his days were like what we call today a Turkish hammam. These bathhouses, it was more like a, so to speak, sauna, in which they had bowls of water which people would clean themselves with after, so to speak, heating their bodies. Very close to what we call today a Turkish hammam. They have that in spas and hotels. Halakha kaf-bet. ובודק עצמו קודם שייכנס למרחס ואחר שיעשה. And a person should check his, he should check himself for relieving himself, should check his bowels before entering the mirhas, before entering the shower, and after exiting the shower. Shemei heserich l'kamab. You know, because if he needs to relieve himself while he's in the shower, it would be problematic for him, as we previously stated. וכן בודק אדם עצמו תמיד קודם אכילה ואחר אכילה, and also one should always check himself before eating and after eating, the קודם בעילה ואחר בעילה, and before the relations with his wife and after relations, וקודם שיגע ויתעמל ואחר שיגע ויתעמל, before exercise and after exercise, וקודם שישן וכשיעור כל עשרה, and before sleeping and after and when he wakes up. Altogether, that is 10 things. הלכה כ"ג, ובודק עצמו קודם שייכנס למרחס ואחר שיעשה. And one of מחילה, כשיעשה אדם מן המרחס, ילבש בגדיו. When a person leaves the bathhouse, by the way, the reason Rambam is saying these things is because they weren't known to the regular guy, did not know anything in health. People used to die from food poisoning. People used to die from lack of hygiene, and people still today do die from lack of hygiene, like flies. It's not nice to say it, but people that was one of the, and still today is one of the big most common causes of death, improper hygiene. And that's why Rambam is making a point to tell us all the ways of the hygiene, how to eat properly. All these things till today still are extremely, extremely important. And that's why Rambam really is teaching us this in these lengthy halachot. Halakha kaf gimel. When a person leaves the shower, the bathhouse, he should put his clothing. And the bathhouse was divided into the inner quarters of the bathhouse, which was literally the part where people used to sit and clean themselves. Then there was the outer quarters where people used to be undressed. Then there was the outer quarters in which people would be usually dressed, and from there they would leave. So there were 3, so to speak, levels, 3 rooms in which a person would enter while he's entering the bathhouse. So when a person leaves, he covers his head, but baita hison, in the most outermost part of the bathhouse, so that his head does not get cold. But even when it's hot outside, even in the hot days, he should be careful with that. And a person, after he leaves these bathhouses, which are a very strenuous thing on the body. He should sit, he should rest until he is calm and undistressed. And he should rest his body and allow the heat which he put his body through. He should allow it to dissipate. And then if he wants to eat, he should eat. This is all if he wants to eat. And if he slept little between being in the bathhouse and eating, that is very good. Halacha kafdalit. I think, tell me if anybody, you guys are the ones listening. I think we're going to do a break. Next halacha, we'll do a break and we'll proceed to finishing this chapter today. I would love to finish the next chapter. I do have some time, but that is, again, that's up to you guys. I'll let, tell me yes or no, whatever you prefer. If you want, we could continue to finish the chapter as well. But I recommend that maybe we do a break now after this. Anybody? Okay. A person should not drink cold.
Joey, let's finish this chapter right now, and then we'll take a break, and we'll take it from there. How we do with next chapter.
No problem. Okay, fine. Because if you guys are tired, like I don't want to overtire you guys. Okay, so a person should not drink cold water after exposing his body to that heat of the midhas, which is, by the way, very, very smart, because it's known that if you expose yourself to different different extremes quickly, it could cause sickness on the body. And of course, a person should not drink in the midhas. That is for a few reasons. One of the reasons is the person is undressed. How could he say beracha unless he's drinking for refuah, unless he's drinking to because he needs it for health purposes, and then he doesn't necessarily need to say beracha. But if a person is extremely thirsty after he leaves the midhas and cannot hold himself, then he should mix the water with some wine or honey and then drink. And if a person rubs honey on himself or oil, if a person rubs oil on himself in the bathhouse in the winter days after he cleans himself, that is a good thing. Halacha kafhe. Yes. A person, okay, so I'll just say before this halacha, till very recent times, it was common practice to allow to do something called hakazat dam. And what it is that they would take out a certain portion of blood from their body. They would make a puncture in the arm and allow some blood to flow out of the body. This was considered very, very healthy. Today it is known to have some health value, but we don't have to do it this way. A person could do it by doing blood donations if he so pleases. But in any event, in Harambam's days, it was common practice to do this, and it was considered very, very healthy and very important, much like taking a shot today, a vaccine. That's about what the Hakazat Dam was in the days of Harambam. So the person shouldn't regulate himself to always do Hakazat Dam. I'm going to call it Hakazat Dam. I'm not going to call it something in English. The term Hakazat Dam is, again, for allowing the blood to come out for health purposes. So a person shouldn't regulate himself to do this Hakazat Dam always, and by always means too much in a way that's more than the person could handle, and he'll give the amounts. And he should do it unless only if he really needs it. And a person shouldn't do Hakazat Dam not in the winter, not in the summer, not in the extreme weathers of the year, in the extreme seasons, but rather rather but rather in the days of Nisan, spring, Uma'at b'yom Tishri, and in the days of Tishri, which is fall. Tishri is the month in which we do Rosh Hashanah. Nisan is the month in which we do Pesach. Ume'achar 50 shana lo yakis kelah. And somebody who's above 50 years old should not do hakazat dam at all. V'lo yakiz adam dam b'yikanes lamerchas b'yom echad. And a person should not take the blood out, do hakazat dam, and enter the bathhouse in a single day. It could be very dangerous. And a person should not do hakazat dam and then proceed to going out, to going on the road. And laset laderech, to go on the road in Harambam's day, did not mean entering your car, turning it on, and driving. It obviously meant a very strenuous activity in which a person would go for miles and days and have to be in a caravan of people, and it was very dangerous and a very strenuous activity on the physical body, and therefore doing hakazat dam in this in the same day is not very recommended. And also not on the day in which he comes back from the derech, which he comes back from being on the road, because also he just passed a very strenuous activity. In fact, the halakha permits he who comes from being on the go, baderech, and there's a very specific definition for being baderech, not to pray for 3 days. I'm not making pisak halakha here, obviously. That is an ilchot tefillah. V'yochal v'yishteh b'yom ha'hakaza pachut mima shehu ragil. And in the day which a person does hakazat dam, he should eat and drink less than what he is accustomed to eating and drinking. V'yanuach b'yom ha'hakaza v'lo yit'amel v'lo yitayel. And a person should rest in that day, and he shouldn't exercise, and he shouldn't litayel, he shouldn't walk longer walks. Halacha kafvav. Okay. Okay. Shichvat zera, the seminal fluid. Hi koach haguf v'hayav umor ha'einayim. This is the power of the body, and this is the power. It's the physical power and the psychological power. Umor ha'einayim, and it's what gives light to the eyes. V'chol zeman sheteseh biyoter, and as long as somebody allows this to come out, haguf baleh, the body becomes ruined, becomes tired, becomes, so to speak, ruined. It's bad for the body. Yes, and his physical power is, so to speak, lowered. He becomes weaker. V'hayav obedim, and his life obedim. What does it mean? V'hayav obedim. I personally am not 100% sure, but I think what he means is, for the time being, he, so to speak, it sucks the life out of him. If I had to say it in more modern terminology. הוא שאמר שלמה בחוכמתו אל תיתן לנשים חיליך ודרכיך למחות מלכים. And this is as King Solomon has said, do not give unto women thy vigor, ודרכיך למחות מלכים, and your ways for למחות מלכים. In other words, don't be close to the politicians. That's how I would translate it. Which all destroy the body. All these things. Somebody who is always engulfed in sexual activities and connected with the malchut and connected with the political leaders. These two things are what tire a person and so to speak ruin the body. כל השטוף הלכה כ"ז. כל השטוף בבעילה. Anybody who is engulfed in intercourse, zikna kofeset alav, elderliness jumps on him, v'chochot hashesh, and he's always tired, v'einav kehot, and his eyes are darkened, v'reach rano def mipiv u'mishehyo, and bad smells come out of his mouth and his underarms, us'ar rosho v'rabot einav v'risya einav nosher, and his hair in all parts of the body, his head, his eyebrows, his eyelashes comes out, falls off. But on the other hand, his the hair on his head and his eyebrows and eyelashes, that's what falls off. However, the hair on his legs, underarms, and face becomes more coarse. And his teeth fall. And a lot of pain other than these come on him. Obviously, even Harambam knew that these things do not happen to every person. So what is he talking about? So, but in other words, to any healthy human being, so these things, we don't see people with their teeth falling and so on and so forth. So what is he talking about? There's something called the diseases which people get when they indulge in these activities, and these diseases cause much more than what he brought here. And really, somebody who's engulfed in doing these activities all the time, yes, will necessarily, most likely, receive some sort of disease. And I think this is what Harambam is alluding to. Maybe, but if anybody disagrees with me, I'm not gonna argue about that. פרק כ"ח, הלכה כ"ח. אמרו חכמי הרופאים, the חכמי הרופאים, the doctors, אחד מאלף מת בשאר חולאים, והאלף מרוב תשמיש. 1 out of 1,000 die from all other sicknesses, and the 1,000, in other words, the other 1,000, מרוב תשמיש, from overindulging in intercourse. לפיכך צריך האדם להיזהר בדבר זה. And therefore people need to be careful in this thing. If you wanted to live properly and healthfully. And a person should not have relations unless he finds that his body is strong and fit, and he is and he has erections, not to his want, and even when he's not paying attention, and he feels heavy from his waist downward, and as though the testicles are pulled, and his skin is hot, in other words, he's perspiring a lot. This type of person does need to do ba'ilah, have relations, and it's refu'ah for him to do this. It's healthy for him, of course, 100% within the confines of the law and the halakha. I once heard somebody say, "Oh, because if it's refu'ah, then it's mutar to do whatever I want." So obviously not, and it's even laughable that people would infer this from Harambam. Halakha kaftet. A person shouldn't have intercourse if he's full. In other words, he just ate. And not if he's hungry. Rather, after the food properly digests in his digestive system. He should check, make sure that he does not make sure to relieve himself before and after the intercourse. In other words, check his bowels before and after having relations. And he shouldn't do this standing or sitting, and not in the bathhouse. And not in the day in which he enters the minhas because his body is weak. And not in the day in which he does hakazat dam, as I explained previously, when a person allows some of the blood from his body to flow out for health purposes, and this of course weakens the body. And not in the day in which he goes out on the go, on the road, and not in the day in which he comes back, and not before these days and not after these days, because his body is weak and it's, so to speak, dangerous for a person to do such things. It could bring sicknesses on the person's body. Now, I like Harambam gives us his warranty, his guarantee, if we keep these halachot. Anyone who trains himself in these ways, which we just pointed out, which were pointed out by Harambam, I assure him, Harambam, in other words, assures him that he will not encounter sickness in all of his days, until he becomes old and passes away and dies from old age. And he will not need a doctor. And that his body will be preserved and healthy, well preserved and healthy throughout his life. Unless Harambam didn't want people suing him. unless his body had propensity for sicknesses and so on from the beginning of its conception, in other words, from when he was born, or so genetical problems people have, or if somebody was or if somebody was regulated himself to enter bad habits from also early on, and these bad habits were ingrained in his system. Again, Harambam, it seems that in Hilchot Deot, Harambam does have the notion that most traits are fixable, right? Of course, we're not talking about cases in which people have actual physical damage, but even traits in terms of even mental traits are fixable, most likely. I believe here he's talking about a physical trait, which he couldn't, I'll give an example, like Tourette's syndrome, if anybody knows what that is, things like that, which somebody cannot control. Or if famine or plague come onto the world. Halakha lamed alef. And all these good rules that we said, the correct, a person, only a healthy person should go in these ways. But somebody sick, or somebody who one of his limbs are sick, or somebody that regulated himself in bad habits for many years, like smoking, for instance. These people have other ways which are healthy for them to go, and other things that they should do based on their sickness, as is spoken about in Sifrei HaRefuot, in the books in the medicine books. V'shinui veset tehilat holi, and there's another thing which Rambam is saying, by the way, when problems in the menstrual cycle also signify some sort of beginning of a sickness. Halakha lamed bet, kol makom she'en bo rofeh, any place which does not have a doctor, okay? אחד הבריא ואחד החולה. אין ראוי לו לזוז מכל הדברים שאמרנו בפרק זה. Somebody sick, somebody not sick. So he just told us previously that if you're sick, there are special ways in which are healthy for you to go. But this is according to the doctors in your time. If you don't have a doctor, if you're in a place where you don't have a doctor, so you should not move from the things that Harambam said in this chapter. Because all these things, all the rules of conduct laid down in this chapter, they each lead to a good aharit, to a good end. I would say, of course, today there are certain common rules of health, and this is what everybody should go in. And of course, Harambam, as I mentioned previously, in the Moreh Nevuchim mentions this as well, that go according to the doctors. So there are some people who propose, no, Harambam said in Hilchot Deot, stick to what he said. No. Obviously, things that are unhealthy, written in Hilchot Deot, physically should not be practiced. And I won't say more on that. Halakha lamed gimel, kol עיר שאין בה 10 דברים האלו, אין תלמיד חכמים רשאי לגור בתוכה. Now Harambam goes to explaining us a little bit about Talmidei Chachamim. So the end of this halakha and all of next chapter is about that. Any city which does not have one of these 10 things, a Talmid Chacham, a Talmid Chachamim, in other words, a disciple of the wise, but not of the Chachamim, not Chacham, and there's a difference. I will later on, if we have a chance, I will speak about that. He's not allowed to live in the city if it doesn't have these following 10 things. A doctor. Uman. And Uman is somebody who does the Hakazat Dam, as previously mentioned. Uvet HaMerhas, and a bathhouse. Uvet HaKiseh, and a bathroom. Umayim Nisuyim Kemo Nahar Ma'ayan, and running water such as a river or a stream. ובית הכנסת, in a synagogue, ומלמד תינוקות, and a teacher for the young, specifically Torah teacher. This will be expanded upon in Hilchot Talmud Torah. Velablar, and a scribe. And we're not only talking about a scribe in the Torah sense. We're also talking about somebody who knows how to prepare all kinds of documents. V'rabba'e tzedakah, and those who collect charity, okay, in the name of the public. In other words, those who are by the public, those who represent the public in the charity giving, they ask whoever's, they bring the charity in, and they give it to the poor. Uvedin makim v'chofshin, and a bedin, a tribunal with police powers, makim v'chofshin, but more specifically, makim v'chofshin means malkut, and all the punishments which should be done. Obviously today we cannot necessarily have any a bedin like this, but a court like this. But obviously we work with what we can. So whatever out of these 10 things that we can have and that we must have, and that we can't have, we must have. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.